Hi Stampers, it's Elizabeth from StampScrapAndMore.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator located in Canada. And thank you for joining me today. We are going to be making a cookie slash tea bag slash gift card holder. I'm getting ready for a craft fair and this is one of the items that I'll have available. So let's get started and I hope to inspire you. Alrighty, you don't need to see that. That was my template. This is the project we're going to be making. Isn't that cute? Elf approved and sleigh delivered. And in here is a package of tea, a tea bag. So, whoops, there's, I'm used Stash because it's, I love chai. And it's nice and red and colorful for the holidays. And we've got a tag here with one of the little bells on here. And then on the inside, it holds a package of the Pepperidge Farms Chessman butter cookies. There's 3 cookies. But then the pièce de résistance, don't you like that? In the back here, it can fit a gift card. Now, depending on how tight you fold the paper, you can either put the gift card in this way, but sometimes it's really tight and you don't want to rip the paper. So if that's the case, it doesn't fit, you can actually put the card in that way. So you've got 2 ways to do it. Depending on how you fold the paper, it might be too snug for the gift card, but you can always put it in this way. And as I mentioned, this is one of the projects I made for an upcoming craft show. And I have to thank for this. I've got a couple of people because this is not an original creation. Debbie Pippin and Shiaka Haverstick. They both created this project, provided the measurements online, and heck, you know, why recreate the wheel? I think this is just too cute not to recreate it. So let's get started, and I'm going to give you some measurements. I'm using the Sweetest Christmas Designer Series paper for this, and the sentiment comes from the Santa's Delivery stamp set. And, you know, I've said this before, one of the things I love about Stampin' Up! Is color coordination. So the Sweetest Christmas has real red in it. And so we've got real red on the back of this candy, on the candy cane on the back. And then this, I think it's garden green. But there's also ribbon that goes with this suite, real red and garden green ribbon. I happen to have a piece of real red out here, so I'm going to be using that. And we're going to be using the real red ink. Let's get started, and I'm going to give you measurements. You are definitely going to need a pen and paper for this. All right, so a piece of Designer Series paper, and it is 8.5, yep, by 12. You're going to bring out your Simply Scored tool or your trimmer. I'm going to see if I can get this in the paper in the window here. All right, so we have a piece of Designer Series paper that's 8.5 by 12. And on the shorter side, on the 8.5 side, we are going to score it at 2.5 inches. Oops, 2.5 inches, like that. And 6 inches, like that. And just in case you're not aware, on the stylus there are 2 ends. One is the thicker end and one is the finer end. For Designer Series paper, I like to use the thicker end because you're less likely to tear the paper. So just keep that in mind. Now on the 12-inch side, we are going to score at 1 1/4, 1 1/4, 2.5, 5 inches, 7 inches. I'll repeat these as when I'm done. 9.5, and 10 3/4. Oops, ooh, did I do that the wrong way? No, I didn't. 10 3/4. Okay, and that's it for the scoring. So I'm going to repeat the measurements again. Let me make sure I got my paper back in here right, because my OCD, everything has to be straight. All right. So again, the measurements are 8.5 by 12. On the short side, you're going to score at 2.5 and 6. On the long side, you are going to score at 1.25, 2.5, 5, 7, 9.5, and 10.75. You are going to bring out your snips, and I've said this in a previous video. I needed long scissors for this so that I can get nice clean snip. I don't own the Stampin' Up! Long snips that they had years ago, so I'm using this old pair. And on each corner, you've got a square here. It's really hard to see on the Designer Series paper because of the scoring, but it basically is a 2-inch square, and you are going to cut that off on all 4 corners. And I'll show you when I'm done. I like to burnish after I cut, and that way I'm cutting on the score line. Yeah, I just like to burnish after I cut. Some of these I'm going to have to flip over so I make sure I get I cut correctly. Depending on the pattern of the paper, it's hard to see the score lines. But one thing I do want to mention, that any Designer Series paper that has a directional pattern will be hard to use. So this has non-directional pattern, so it works out better. Like I said, I've made these for a craft fair, and I love it, love it, love it, love it. I'm going to share some tips with you as we go along. So again, this is the box. I've run out of this paper. The only bad thing is that it does take almost a full sheet of 8.5 by 12 by 12. Sorry. So you can really only get 1 box per sheet of paper. But for the craft fair, I've used up a lot of retired product to get this done. Okay, so the trick here is, let me show you on the back side. So you'll see the pattern, the stripe pattern, and then here you've got the polka dot pattern. Whatever pattern you want to show on the outside, so whatever pattern you want to show here, that's the pattern you're going to fold over. And I'm going to show you what I mean. So I want the stripe to be on the outside. So I'm folding, this is the stripe, I'm turning this over, and we've got a corner here. And you know, I just might zoom in a little bit more so you guys can see, and I'll zoom it back out when I'm done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this point over, and I found it easiest to do it when you've got this corner here. So I'm going to fold from in here, and I'm going to put my thumb here and fold along that line like that. And I'm going to bring up my bone folder and like this. And I'm going to do the same here. I'm going to put my thumb here so that I know that that's where the fold line is, and I'm going to line it up properly. And I'm not going to rip the paper. And I'm folding along this score line here. And then I'm going to fold down like that. What I mean by it's easier to fold within this corner. I don't want to fold it from this end and measure it up on this end. I find it easier to fold it starting on this corner here. And I'm going to try and fold over. And then one more time, put my nail there and fold over. And now I'm just going to, this actually really is easy to put together. And I'm going to fold back out again. Or sorry, not fold back out again. Zoom back out again. There we go. There. What did we ever do without cell phones before? They're so useful. Okay, so now I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to fold it over like this. And when you're using your bone folder, don't fold it in like this, fold it out like this. And that way you're not putting any added pressure on those on this edge here. Or not just pressure, but pushing the paper out in the wrong direction. I'll show you what I mean by that in a second. So I don't want to push it in because I might push this into the right. I want it to be more flush, so I'm going to push it out like that. That's just something that after making 20 of them, if you find that you have a corner, an edge that is maybe not perfect here, I am going to take my scissors and I'm going to show you, and I'm just going to freehand a really thin cut like that so that it's even all the way along like that. This one's not even, and that's why I said push it out, don't push it in, because this may rip this part right here. Clear as mud, folks, clear as mud. And I'm just going to snip that off like that. All right, so now we've got it nice and creased, and we're good to go to the next step. Now I'm going to fold it over. Yeah, and so we've got a crease line here. I'm going to fold this crease line up and burnish like this. And then we've got another fold crease line here. I'm going to fold this crease line up like this and burnish it like that. And now we have something that looks like this. You've got two choices here. And here because I've burnished it and then it's not flush anymore, so I am just going to trim that down a little bit again. These are one of those anal things of mine that I just want to make sure that it's perfect. It's why I take pride in what I sell at the craft fairs. All right, so now you've got an option here. I believe the original pattern called for this to be flipped down like this and your tea bag to go in here. I personally prefer it that if it's flipped over the back way and then this is left exposed. So what I am going to do, I'm going to take a little bit of snail and adhere it down like that. You don't have to use snail. So this really is a snail-free or adhesive-free project if you don't want to do it. You don't have to put snail, but I just want to secure that down a little bit more. And I'm going to do the same on this side. Now the cookies I had bought in the US a couple weekends ago, don't know if they're available in Canada, but you can use any type of small cookie packaging, even if you had your own cookies, and put them in a Ziploc bag, and you can put them in here, and you would get the same look. All right, so here is my holder, right? Almost done, folks. Would you believe it? I'm going to take my Crop-A-Dile, and if you don't have a Crop-A-Dile, you can, whatever you use to punch holes with, it's up to you. And I'm going to, one of my downline posted a comment in my last video that she didn't realize that there was a gauge here. Yes, you can, this is untightens, and you can move this up and down. So if you want, depending on how far deep you want if you want multiples at the same depth, you just adjust this gauge here. Now I don't know what I had it at, and then tighten it back up again. And so now it's tight. So when I punch my holes, I'm going to punch two holes. They're going to be on the same level. And let's just make sure. I think that might be kind of high up. Oh, yeah, it might be high up. So I'm going to adjust it just a little bit more. There we go. Alrighty, and I'm going to put one there and then one there. I eyeballed it. If you wanted to, you could measure them from both sides. And now I'm going to take my ribbon, which I've already cut and actually was left over from another project, so I thought I would just use it up. It's probably 19 inches. And I'm going to put it through here. Oops. And one more time. And like I said, is this the ribbon? Well, this might not be the ribbon. No, it's not the ribbon. This is from another project. Sorry, this is the ribbon. This is like a cotton ribbon, and it was part of the Sweetest Christmas Santa Express suite. So if you are a customer of mine and you are coming to the Brampton Fairground on December the 10th, I will have catalogs available to hand out to all of my customers. So the new catalogs, I should say. I shouldn't say catalogs, assuming this catalogs and celebration. So I've put it in like that, and now I'm just going to tie a bow. And you know, we say this all the time that I don't mind tying bows, but it's always easier when you're not doing a video, I think. And so it won't be a perfecto bow. And I'm gonna, oh my heavens, it's terrible bow. Let me put the cookies in here. That might make it sturdy and not as floppy. You know, some people do bunny rabbit bows. I've never been able to, bunny ear bows, never been able to do a bunny ear bow, ever. And there we go. That turned out okie dokie. Like that. And just flip it left and right. And then you are going to put your tea bag in here like that. And let's just see if that gift card, where did I do with it? Oh, there it is. I'm just going to see if I can, and this is going to fit in. Like I said, sometimes it depends on how tight you, oh no, it's going to fit in like that. So that's where the gift card will go. Now, we do have some stamping on this project, folks. So I'm using the tags kit, the tailor-made tags kit, or to tailor-made tags. And I've used this one here, so the second smallest one. This is a no-brainer, folks. And I'm also using the, because I thought it's really cute, Elf Approved and Sleigh Delivered, and the Real Red. And I'm going to stamp this like that. And my stamp pad needs re-inking. And then I've just got some basic white baker's twine. And I'm also going to use the flat Jingle Bell trinkets, which I'm really sorry. I think I heard through the grapevine they are sold out. Might be because I bought a lot of them. But yeah, they're sold out. Sorry. And I'm just going to weave this in here and stick it on like, stick it under there like that. And just do a little knot, a simple bow like that. Bob's your uncle, Myrtle's your aunt, and this project, well, I shouldn't say that so fast, is done. So, you know, considering, oh, Lordy bee, there we go. There we go. This project is done. So what do you think, folks? Like I said, this is not terrible scissors for cutting the ribbon. Ribbon, if you use scissors on ribbon or vice versa on paper, you shouldn't cross them because they will not work very well. Yeah, they get dulled out. Yeah, there we go. So that's the, isn't that cute? Again, I have to thank for this Chiaki Haverstick and Debbie Pippin. That's something that they created, and I think it's from an event years ago. a leadership event, and I've never made it before, but I thought it was super cute. And heck, I wanted to share it with you. So a great way to use up designer series paper and a little gift packaging for someone special. You know, we've all got people that we want to give something little to, and what a cute way to package up a gift card. Who doesn't like tea and cookies, especially late at night, which is what I'm going to be doing, tea and cookies. Have a good one. Happy stamping, and we'll talk to you again soon. Bye.